Absolute Radio is where you can hear Prince, Mumford and Sons,
I will wait for you,
and The Killers.
Can you read my mind?
Absolute Radio.
Where real music matters.
Absolute Radio is the home of rock and roll football. Barclays Premier League football commentary every Saturday afternoon.
At the weekend when you top up £5 in the week.
Terms apply. Calls to mobiles and landlines starting 010203. Just opt in. Lasts one weekend.
Tonight's show is going to be quite good, partly because I've got a cob on and they always seem to work the best. And also, lots and lots of things have happened since last Thursday. I've had a terrible review in The Observer, thanks Tommy Boyd. Cheer Up Sunday has happened, and I have a vague idea what the results are. Eloise's house gets worse and worse and worse, and I have been bullied, got upset, and then overcame the bullying. 0330 123 1215.
Can this show get any worse?
Iain Lee. It's about love and life. And live radio wrestling matches. Iain Lee on Absolute Radio.
Touch my balls.
I'd rather be liberated.
Iain Lee.
Absolute Radio.
Catatonia, years ago, before they were famous, did a fantastic little indie song. I remember hearing it on, maybe I heard it on John Peel, and bought it on cassette single. Was there ever a format less useful, or indeed more useless, than the cassette single? Slightly more useful was the CD single, because at least you could use it as a coaster if you required, but the cassette single was brilliant. But it was a brilliant song, and it had the line, and if you're one of the boys with your irrelevant ploys, then God will, I think, dinosaur out you or something. Does anyone know what that was called, that song? 0330 123 1215. It was a great song. It was a great song. I wonder if you can buy it on I'll see if I can buy it on iTunes on my phone and then play it for you later on, because it was a great little indie song. Hello, dear listener. Iain Lee, Absolute Radio. It's Monday. We survived the weekend, although the world seemed to be falling around our ears, didn't it? The death of the news of the world, the phone hacking thing keeps going on and on and on. Boy, you weren't one of those suckers, I said suckers, that fell for that news of the world thing, were you? Don't tell me you weren't. Please tell me you didn't buy the last issue of You did! Oh, God. You fell for it. I thought you were more intelligent than that. There were people... Peter Percival Patterson's name Barky. There were people queuing up to buy the last commemorative edition of the News of the World, you idiots! It was a trick, it was a con! You were supposed to leave it on the shelves, remember? That's what we agreed. Never mind. So, a lot has happened. I see Jonathan has phoned up from Cheer Up Sunday. We will talk to him in just a few minutes. We will find out the latest woes from Eloise's flat that she... I don't follow her on Twitter anymore. I follow hardly anybody. I follow 4 people. One of whom is Sarah Cox. Yeah, the Sarah Cox. Because she kind of told me to follow her, and I didn't want to disrespect her, so I'll see how it goes. Her tweets haven't been that great so far, so I may unfollow her. We'll see how that goes. But Eloise will tell us about her miserable house, or the flat that she's in, although she's sleeping well, so that's a bonus. 0330 123 1215 if you want to tell us about the worst place you ever lived in. But the main thrust of tonight's show is bullies and indeed bullying. There has been someone very, very nasty on Twitter. Very, very nasty, saying very hurtful things. And I will give you the gist of it. If you've been following me on Twitter, you will know that I've been retweeting some of these, and people are saying, well, no, don't retweet them, because you're just giving them attention. Well, I kind of want people to see the kind of nonsense that gets sent my way, and it's very hurtful. It's about my son being dead and being raped and all these kind of horrible, horrible things. That's it. I won't go any more specific than that, but that's kind of it. And, people send me abuse. I kind of don't mind. I do mind a bit, but it's like, well, okay. People send abuse about my wife, like this person was. That's kind of out of order. Send it about my son, and you will feel my mighty wrath come down on you like the hand of God. But I found it quite upsetting, and I kind of decided to bow down and back away from the Twitter. Back away from the Twitter. It was unnecessary. And then over the weekend, I was thinking, I'm 38 and I'm being bullied here. I'm being pushed away from something that, yes, I'm kind of vaguely addicted to and do use it way too much. But that's almost irrelevant. I shouldn't let this guy win. And so today I kind of came back defiant, and I'd made my account private, so I had to approve anyone that wanted to follow me and stuff like that. And I went back and I kind of said, you know what, I'm back, kids, and I'm not going to be scared away by nothing that anybody throws at me. And I made the account public so that people could join me at a moment's notice, because Twitter's kind of useful for me. It helps me plug this show and set the agenda show and all kinds of stuff. So, and it's kind of quite good fun to have, even if it's pointless. And also, then this person kind of came back and was sending some really nasty abuse about my little boy, who's 18 months old, by the way, on Wednesday. So, that's not nice. But then, thanks to, and I have to be careful how I say this, because I don't want to give away my methods, but thanks to methods, shall we say, I worked out who it was who was sending me these tweets. I know who it is. I know where they live, and I know who it is, and I've got their phone number. Now, I know this person... I'm not going to say on the air. But I know this person is listening to the show tonight. If you want to give me a call, you can withhold your number. Don't you worry about that. We've got it anyway on record. But if you want to give me a call, you're more than welcome to. 0330 123 12 15. Okay. Now, I know you won't, because I know that you know I know who you are. Because we had a little chat on Twitter. And I said a couple of things that showed him, and it's a him, it's not a her or a them, it's a him. I showed him that I knew exactly who he was. And I knew exactly what building he was in when he sent those tweets. And I know he was doing it on work time as well. Naughty. So, you're listening. I'm not going to call you. If you want to give us a call, 0330 123 1215. You accuse me of having no balls, but come on, fella. Don't be an internet keyboard warrior. Come on the air. And if you want to make accusations about me abusing children, let's do it on the radio, shall we? Let's do it on the radio. Why not? Let's do it like men on the radio. You won't, will you? You won't. And you'll send me a little bit of stick on Twitter, and then you'll vanish, because I got your number. 0330 123 1215. I want to know your experiences of bullying. Does it? 'Cause I'm 38, and I felt pretty rubbish this weekend. Apart from when I was at Neil Diamond, that was awesome. We'll talk about that a bit later on. So if you've been bullied, let me know. Now, here's something I probably should confess. When I was younger, when I was at school, I was kind of a bit of a bully myself. I was in the middle of the bullying food chain. I had people who would bully me, and so to make me feel better and to cover up my inadequacies, well, Louise, you might want to get line one. I will bully people further down the food chain. I did some pretty horrible things. There was some stuff I did to a girl called Bernadette that I'm to this day terribly ashamed about. And I did some pretty awful things. And I feel bad. And I kind of carried it on into my 20s as well. And I did it a bit when I kind of started getting on TV as well. TV is weird. I went from signing on having no money to suddenly having several £1,000s a week. A lot of people around me telling me, hey, you're great. And there being lots of booze and drugs, okay? And that heady combination kind of makes it very easy to get arrogant and to get full OSH1T. And I did. And I kind of carried it on a bit. And I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it at all, because I'm not proud of it. Horrible thing to do, and I am deeply ashamed. I think I have come through that now, but by quite some years, and I'm kind of on the other side, and now I'm feeling what it's like to be bullied, and it's just it wasn't very pleasant. And it's funny, isn't it? People find your weak spots, and my weak spot, of course, my little boy, Astro Boy, and they prod you and they needle you, and they can just say something that's going to kind of get you the wrong side. So we're doing a bullying special. If you were a bully, phone up and tell me why. Tell me what you get out of it. What you got out of it. I used to do it to make up for having low self-esteem and for, not being particularly confident and for kind of hating myself. That's why I did it. And then I did it when I was in my 20s, because no one took me to one side and said, Ian, sorry, you're on telly and stuff, but you're acting like a dick. No one told me that. Someone had told me that. I might have listened to them a bit earlier. I don't know. 0330 123 12 15. And also, if you're being bullied, let me know. What's the best way to overcome bullying? The way I did it on Twitter was I confronted the guy and addressed him full on. And that kind of took the wind out of his sails a little bit. So we're talking about that. Don't worry, it's not all going to be heavy tonight. I know it's a Monday night. You want to have a bit of fun. It's not all going to be heavy. 0330 123 12 15. We want to know the worst place you've ever lived in. Just how bad was it? Were there rats? Was there mould running down the walls? Was it damp? Did you have a mental landlord? I've just started reading Simon Day's book, Comedy and Error. Really is a cracking read. It's a cracking read. I'm only like 50 pages into it, but it's a great book. I thoroughly recommend it. The guy from The Far Show, awesome. Absolutely awesome. And he's just described living with this weird German lady and who would just keep walking into his room while he was getting changed. 0330 123 12 15 is the telephone number. And after we've heard the Temper Trap, who I believe are very popular band at the moment, we're going to speak to Jonathan from Cambridge and find out exactly what happened on the first ever... Well, no, hang on. The second ever Cheer Up Sunday. Because he did one before that didn't really work very well. I was so close to going. I'll tell you more after this.
Look after your world with British Gas. Exclude selected tariffs.
Iain Lee on Absolute Radio.
Eloise is through there. Hello, Eloise.
Hiya.
Did you read the review of this show in The Observer on Sunday?
Yes, I did.
Because I sent it to you.
I
That's
loved
why.
it.
Well, shall I read it?
Yeah.
This is from Miranda Soy, who I think is excellent, by the way, and I love her column. She reviews like radio shows all on a Sunday, and it's great. I think she's brilliant. But anyway, she's this title, Rewind Radio, who provided the best phone hacking coverage, right? So she talks about Breakfast on 5 Live. She talks about the Victoria Derbyshire show on 5 Live. She talks about loads of shows on Radio 4, right, talking about phone hacking. So it's all quite heavy. And then she goes, if you're bored with all this media talk, how about some different insider chat? Try Tuesday's Iain Lee show. Well, I'm excited, that's me. Lee called up ex-presenter Tommy Boyd, and Boyd, rightly, took Lee to task for copying his shtick. Well, she's making a judgment there that he was in the right, that I copied his shtick, because she doesn't know the facts. Listen for Lee's sneery introduction. Quote, you may not have heard of him. I used to be a fan. Unquote. What? Those are facts. You may not have heard of him, and I did used to be a fan. That's not sneery, is it? If it's a fact, it's not sneery.
It's a sneery fact.
Well, no, but it's not even sneery. It's fact. It's pure fact. You may not have heard of him, and I used to be a fan. And his even more graceless response to Boyd's mild accusations. Quote, this is me. When were you last on national radio? I've got a national radio show. As a question, when were you last on national radio? We found out 10 years ago. I have got a national radio show. And then And then she ends it with, you have for now, Iain. For now. Now, Miranda Sawyer, I think you're awesome, but come on. And also, she's missed out the bit where Boyd threatened to kill me. He threatened to have me assassinated. And he was... Right, here are the things that are wrong with Boyd, and I'm genuinely... He's been emailing me over the weekend, and I'm annoyed, shall we say. He threatened to kill me. He was drunk. He was in bed. He sounded disinterested. He's way past his prime. All of the ideas he came up with were complete and utter guff. Unbelievable. So, right, all weekend I've had flack from this nutter on Twitter, flack from Boyd fans. Boyd's got a bloody crappy little blog page somewhere where he's been slagging me off, saying I look like Liza Minnelli.
Has he really?
Yeah, which I think is a compliment, by the way, because she was beautiful. And then I've got Miranda Sawyer, one of my favourite columnists.
Is that for the eyes?
Yeah, it is for the eyes. He called her Lisa Minnelli. Lisa Minnelli. It's Liza with a Z. Have you never heard the song, you idiot? And then I've got Miranda Sawyer, one of my favourites. I used to have a little crush on her, saying I'm rubbish.
She doesn't say you're rubbish.
Listen. So, Tommy Boyd, all this fast, because I was trying to give, someone who's had a bit of a tough time.
Lisa Minnelli.
I've been trying... I took that as a compliment because she was stunning. If you look at the pictures on his blog spot, it does...
She is. And she's still got it.
She's still got it.
I've seen her dancing to If You Like It, Then You Should Have Put a Ring on It in some programme.
But we're going away from the point ever so slightly, Eloise. Boyd is. I think I can say. I probably can't say the word better. No, Boyd is an idiot, and he's disrespectful, and all the bad karma that I've been getting is going to end up on his shoulders, and he knows it. Well, karma. That's just how karma works.
Yeah, but I think he's escaped quite unscathed.
At the moment, he has. Well, no, he hasn't, because Facebook is full of what an arse he was.
Ooh, scary.
Full of what an arse he was.
Have they all emailed him then? Like, his fans have emailed
a lot
you?
of them have, actually. And, man alive, when it's going to, he's going to get his comeuppance. Well, he's got his comeuppance in that he's at home in some crappy little house somewhere in Brighton, drunk, not working. Me, I'm earning megabucks, doing a successful radio show until the station gets sold. But up until that point, I'm Daddy Warbucks. No, hang on, I'm Daddy Big Boss. No, I'm good, is what I'm saying. But it didn't bother me at all. Jonathan!
Ian!
Jonathan, it's Cheer Up Sunday Jonathan from Cambridge. How are you doing, fella?
I'm doing really well. I've had a really good day today.
Eloise, can you tell him how close we were to coming up to Cambridge on Sunday?
Within like an hour before we were due to leave.
Yeah, we were going to do it.
You?
I tell you what stopped me, is I was well up for it, but I was meeting my dad for only the third time in 15 years, and I was exhausted because on the Saturday morning I'd been up at 5:30. And then I had a busy day and took my mum to see Neil Diamond. I didn't get back home after Neil Diamond till 2 o'clock. And then Sunday I was up at 5:30 again, 3.5 hours sleep. And so by the time I got home from meeting my dad, it was 4 o'clock. I would have to have left pretty much then. I went to bed, Jonathan. That's the God's honest truth.
Ian, that's fine. I really didn't expect either you or Eloise to
We
come
were going
because
to.
Honestly,
and Eloise was waiting for the mouse man.
Who never turned
Never
up.
turned up. The mouse man never turned up.
The mouse man?
The mouse man.
To come and get rid of my mice.
Oh, right. Yeah, you can't trust those guys.
No, you can't trust
They're dodgy
those
sometimes.
But so
Anyway.
Cheer Up Sunday was happening in Cambridge. You posted where it was going to be, and you were asking people to come and join you. Jonathan,
That's right. I even took photos and everything.
what happened?
What happened? Okay, well, the day started off... motorbike in the background. It didn't start with a motorbike in the background. It started off on the way to the pub. I was getting a pint just to sort of calm down a bit.
A little bit of the old Dutch courage.
Okay.
We all know why it's called Dutch courage, because they're all alcoholics over there. Yes.
Exactly, that's why it's called that.
Yeah.
And so my two friends from London were following me, unbeknownst to me. And apparently I looked around and looked directly at them, but didn't see them. They were hiding behind a wall. It was all in the name of fun.
Yes.
They weren't stalking me. When you know someone, that's okay. They were just going to surprise me, surprise! It wasn't like they were going to grab me. So we had a nice sort of drink in the pub and just discussing what was going to happen. I was well up for it, but I wasn't wearing the right shirt, so I had to kind of run home.
Yeah.
And I ran through the festival in Parker's Piece, and I was like, well, let's see the competition. It was naff. Their festival was rubbish. Cheer Up Sunday was way better in Christ Pieces.
Yeah.
So I went out and I sat down on a bench, and for a moment I had a flashback of round one.
Yeah,
I
when
was
no
by
one
myself.
turned up.
Yeah, that's right. And even the two friends that I met before weren't there straight away. So I was sitting there thinking, what if they'd just gone home?
Yeah.
But they didn't. They turned up, and I was like, well, you guys, thank you so much for turning up, because without you two, it would have been a mess.
Yeah.
And that was Matt and Lucy, my two friends from London.
But so hang on a minute, Jonathan. I've got to step in here.
Yep.
The plan was to meet new people.
Hang on. You're rushing ahead. You're making judgments, but...
Well, the judgment is that the two of your mates turned up.
Yeah, okay, they came up. They agreed to come up, and if they didn't come up, I would have been by myself. But then...
Yeah.
A person actually came.
Hey!
We were so surprised. I know! And guess what?
Go
the
on.
demographic we were not expecting, a young lady.
Wow, what? Girls listen to this rubbish? Who was it? What was her name?
It was a delightful woman called Flossie. And you can get away with that name if you're lovely.
Oh, I like the name Flossie. It's a great name.
It's really nice, isn't it? Yeah, at first I was like, Flossie, but then it's sort of grown on me since then. But she was so nice. And
where was she from? Was she a Cambridge local?
I think so. I think she went to university in Cambridge. I think she's going back to London for a bit next year or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was so nice meeting her. She was so chatty, and it wasn't awkward at all, despite my T-shirt saying, well, this is awkward. It wasn't awkward at all. We all just got on, and it was really, really nice. Even though she was the only one that sort of turned up that was a randomer, it was still...
Did you buy her the drink that you promised?
she had to go back to work. She's working in a summer school.
Oh, man.
Unfortunately. I know, but I went back with my two friends from London and we just had a nice relaxing drink. Obviously, the numbers were low, but the spirits were high.
Yay!
That's the catchphrase I'm going for here.
Man, I so wish I'd wish I'd got off my lazy backside and joined you.
But it sounds like you had a hell of a day.
I was knackered. If I'm honest, I was doing that thing. I was driving home at 3:30 in the afternoon, and I was almost falling asleep. And if I very nearly had to pull off in the car and
we would have
go
been
to
so
sleep.
shocked if you guys came. We would have been.
We were going to Eloise. I mean, pretty much from day one, we've been like, "Shall we go to this?" And then we didn't, and we're sorry about that.
It's fine.
But you had fun. Would you call it a success?
I've uploaded the pictures actually on the Facebook wall. You might have to scroll down a bit. I'll repost them.
Please
do. Yes, the main picture is me with my thumb up.
Excellent
as opposed to down.
Jonathan,
So it went well.
I'm so chuffed it was a success. Thank you for sharing it with us.
That's no problem. I owe a big thanks to you, Ian, because as I've said before, you could have easily just hung up on me.
No way, dude.
And been like, what a weirdo.
No, this is a great idea. And listen, if you get any more great ideas, I want you to come to me, not Scott Mills. He'll be doing. Scott Mills will be doing Cheer Up Sunday in about 2 weeks anyway, kid. So you know he'll nick the idea. But Jonathan, you come to us and we will do whatever you want.
I'll bear that in mind when I have the next crazy idea that might bring down the radio.
Good luck.
Hopefully not. I'll also be turning up to set the agenda as well.
Have you got tickets?
Yeah, I bought tickets today.
They're
while I
going
was at
quickly.
work.
Can I just say, kids, set the agenda. It's the variety night I do with my friend James. It's happening on Sunday, August the 7th. If you've been before, it's still in Camden. It's in a slightly bigger but air-conditioned venue. Yes, that's right. Air conditioning. So no one will pass out this time. Act so far, Dennis the Russian, star of The X Factor, Kat Arney playing the harp, a young lady whose name I can't remember but she'll be sleeping on a bed of nails, Pete Hathaway the magician, who's taller than me. So if you want to see a guy taller than me, then come. And a young guy called Alex Lowe, who we're not really sure who he is or what he's going to be doing.
Sure, yeah.
But we're not sure what he's going to be doing, but he's going to be there. If you go to facebook.com/groups/set the agenda, then you'll find ticket details on there. And the tickets is going quick. Oh, Jonathan. So if you're coming on that day, then definitely come and say hello, and we'll.
Yeah, I definitely will. As long as you don't shove me aside and be like, "Who you get out of the way?"
Get out of the way, you loser! You're so early July. It's mid-August now. Get out of here, you loser! Of course I won't, sir. I will buy you a drink to say well done, you.
Oh, that's really nice. Can I just do a quick shout out to not many people, just the people that came and one extra person?
Jonathan, do we do shout-outs on this show? Don't
we
push
don't
it.
do shout-outs, but we congratulate the people that helped make Cheer Up Sunday.
Jonathan.
Very, very quickly.
Okay, Jonathan, away you go. Go on.
Okay, Lucy and Matt.
Come on, fella. I've got to have standards, haven't I? Oh, Eloise is looking disgusted at me. Moira Flynn.
Oh, hello, Ian.
Hello, Moira Flynn. What a delight it is to speak to you. Are you from the Emerald Isle?
No. I'm phoning from here in Manor Park.
In London, London Park?
Manor Park. It's here in East London. It's
Manor Park.
Very close to Essex.
Manor Park,
Ilford.
close to Essex, Ilford. I have heard of it. I have seen it on a map. I've never been there in my life. No. Moira Flynn, you sound delightful. What have you been up to this weekend?
It's been very hectic.
Yes.
Like I've had to sort out quite a lot of problems, but today was a lovely day,
Good.
so that's what's made me very happy.
Wasn't it? Moira, wasn't
Yes.
it hot today?
It was very, very hot.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I was doing some gardening this
Especially
morning.
down
It was fantastic. Out in the garden, cutting down an old bush. But you've done that and had a great time.
I'm afraid, we did plan to go out today.
Yes.
But you see, it was very hectic on Saturday because, my father is just on recovery because he had been ill before Christmas.
Yeah.
It was a terrible time, and luckily enough, he's just come out of hospital.
Good lad.
in
Well
May.
done. That's good, isn't it?
And then, luckily enough, to get our passports sorted out and everything.
Where are you going that you require passports, Moira Flynn?
Oh, no, it's just that they need renewing.
Oh, okay,
No,
okay.
I'm afraid we have no money to to go anywhere, I'm afraid, especially because my father is very elderly. It's not so easy.
No, of course. It's tricky when they're old or when they're poorly, isn't it?
Exactly,
Yep.
because especially he was in very good health. It's just that everything that could go unlucky in this house
Has gone unlucky.
Really unlucky, you know. Like what had happened was we used to live down in Tower Hamlets, down in Stepney.
Yes.
And we had lived in 2 houses there, one flat there, and a house previous to that. We had nothing but bad luck in all 3 places.
Now, do you say bad luck?
Yeah.
Was it that? Do you think maybe that those places were haunted?
Oh, I hope not. It's just that what had happened was there were one house, but the last house in Stepney was like on one hand it was very, very lucky. There were times where it was very, very lucky. Like I'll give you an example.
Please do.
Sorry.
But please do.
Like I had saved up for many years.
Yes.
And then I had ended up with about £10,000 in the bank, and it's all gone now, But I had a great time with it, you know, because I had to buy new clothes.
Cocaine
we were
and
running out of clothes, and we had to buy everything because I was hoping to get my flat done up. What I mean is, just to smarten it up, nothing to do with decorating or anything like that.
No.
But
hang on a minute. How would you smarten it up without decorating it?
Well, I mean, like I wanted to put up mirrors.
£10,000 worth of mirrors?
I wanted to smarten it up with, putting wall mirrors.
As opposed to floor mirrors, yes.
Smart, especially because the bathroom and kitchen was supposed to be getting done.
Here's it, Myra. I've got an idea, right? And I could chat to you all night. You're wonderful. To save, we're running out of oil and electricity is going to, prices are going up.
It is a living nightmare,
It's a living. It's going to hell in a handcuff.
Yeah.
Here's a way to surely halve the electricity usage in any house, right? If you put all of your lights next to a mirror, and I genuinely thought about this a lot. If you put a light next to a mirror, do you get double the light? Eloise is nodding. Do you get double the light?
The only reason I know this is because I've got a 3-way mirror on the dressing table, and I put a lamp in front of one of the mirrors, and it reflected on all 3 of the mirrors.
So you're getting like triple. Your light is cubed, I think.
Quadruple the light.
Well, it's cubed.
Yeah.
If there's one, then there's 3 extras. That's cubed. 1 cubed.
Does that mean though if it's in the shape of a cube?
No, cube means to the power of 3. No, to the power of 4.
I thought that was quadruple. A quad.
Moira, which is cubed, is cubed to the power of 3 or to the power of 4? It's to the power of 4, of course. It's a stupid question. So then what's to the power of 3 called?
Goodness knows. Because what had happened was, sadly, I'd never got around to doing that because we had an awful lot of trouble. This is what I'm saying. We had to end up moving out of the place. All the things that I bought for the place, this is what I'm saying, why it was so unlucky for me over there, is because I'd bought all my stuff to, do out the place and everything. Yeah. And then suddenly we had to move out. I'd lost a few £1,000s worth of stuff, because I couldn't bring it all down.
Because Moira, isn't it? If it's something it's squared, then that's to the power of 2. Cubed is to the power of 4. So what's to the power of 3 then? It's got to be try something. Try.
And my arithmetic is not so good.
0330 123 1210. We've got to the cubed. We've got squared to the power of 2. Cubed is to the power of 4. What's to the power of 3 called? Moira, it's an interesting topic. And also, you've raised an interesting thing there. Can houses or flats be lucky or unlucky? It's interesting, isn't it?
It is. I think they can be at times unlucky because, like what we had here in this property here in Manor Park, this is the worst place because we're miles away from the nearest shop.
God.
It's like, especially my
Moira, I've got to stop you there. Hang on 1 second. How Edwin Bennett, to the power of 2 is squared, to the power of 4 is cubed. What's to the power of 3?
No, the power of the 3 is cubed. Cubed is 3.
What? That's blowing my mind, but a cube is 4!
Squared.
So square.
But, okay, Hal, you tell us what you think it is, you clever sod.
What, to the power of 4?
So what's to the power of 2?
Is squared.
To the power of 3?
2 times 2 is 4.
Yeah. To the power of 3?
3 cubed would be 9.
No, I don't want to know what 3 cubed is. I want to know what to the power of 3 is called.
Cubed.
And to the power of 4?
I don't know.
There we go. He wasn't so smart, was he, Moira?
No, I'm afraid not.
No.
I suppose many of us are not very good with our arithmetic.
No.
That's what it
well
is.
done for calling it arithmetic, though.
How old do you think Moira is?
This is what I was... Funny you said that, because just that second... Oh, Moira, hang on 1 second.
Yes, sure.
Jude? He's gone. I was trying to work out how old Moira was, and first of all, I would have said quite young, and I've said about 32. But the fact that she's using the word arithmetic makes me think that Moira is 56.
No, I'm a lot younger. I'm actually 40.
Wow.
Just
I would never have got that. Would never have got that.
Almost.
Because I am told that I look a lot younger. And some people say that I look about just left school, around about 16. Or some people say I look about 27 or 26 or 20, something like that.
So do you look like Eloise?
Do I? Oh goodness, I haven't seen Eloise.
Oh, then you wouldn't know.
photograph.
You wouldn't know then. No, you wouldn't know.
But I'll give you an example. Do you remember Jacqueline Kennedy? My mother was the spitting image of her, and I was the spitting image of
John
my
F.
mother.
Kennedy, Robert Kennedy.
Right, and do you remember
Bobby Gillespie.
Jacqueline Kennedy before she had died? Do you remember there were a photograph of her? I've got.
She was John F. Kennedy's wife, yeah?
No, my mother was the spitting image of Jacqueline Kennedy. You remember the photograph of her? Was
she John F. Kennedy's wife?
No, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
John
so
F.
the picture of her
Kennedy's wife.
clutching her dead husband.
Yeah, do you remember when Jacqueline Kennedy had to go home to die because she had cancer?
I don't remember that, no.
Right, okay, that was back in, that was quite a number of years ago. Was it 1994 or 95? I can't remember. It was several years ago now.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, if you can remember, you can't remember it, but it was in the Evening Standard, and there were a photograph there of Jacqueline Kennedy, and my mother was the spitting image of Jacqueline Kennedy that was in that photograph. The spitting image, you would have thought that it was exactly like my mother, that it was exactly my mother there.
Oh.
It did come as such a surprise. I was thinking, look at that, that's the spitting image of my mother.
Mum is ill and she's moving home.
No, what I'm saying is my mother is dead. Well, she was a complete mess, I'm afraid.
Oh,
I had a terrible mother.
Oh.
This is what I'm saying. In the other home, the house previous to our last one, you know, like, she was in a terrible mess.
Okay.
She had a mouthful of rotten teeth. Instead of going to the hospital, dental hospital, and getting them all pulled out and getting them seen to, she didn't. She had decided to take aspirin as painkillers.
Oh,
she couldn't be bothered to attend the appointments. She was going on having rows with them. She was addicted to drink and drugs. She was just in a terrible mess.
Oh, that's sad.
She had promised to come off of drugs, and we thought she was going to. And then suddenly, that was it. She had got the place in a terrible mess. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like shut the bill £1,000 in gas. She was always wasting the money.
She should have had mirrors. She should have had mirrors around her library. Moira, listen, I've got to go because I'm late for the adverts. Please call again, It's been fascinating talking to you.
I certainly will. It's been very nice speaking to you and Eloise as well. Lovely. Thanks very much for taking my call anyway, Ian. It's been very nice speaking to you. Thanks very much. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Wow. This is Absolute Radio. Absolute Radio.
This...
We will get onto the subject of bullying soon, I promise, and crappy houses you've lived in. 0330 123 1215. Dan, Cheeky Gary, Jerry and Harry will be with you after this. Huey Lewis! Oh, yes, please, sir. I'll have two of these. I've just sent a begging tweet to Carole King. I never thought I'd be doing that. We're living in the future. At Carole King. Beg her to come on my radio show. I think it's Carol with an E, by the way. Imagine Carole King on here. The fun we'd have. Ooh, I'm going to find some Carole King and play it in a bit. Not in a minute. I'm going to play it right now. Everyone send a message to at Carole King. Carol with an E.
Stayed in bed all morning just to pass.
Some idiot called Jude just rang in and said you can't have anything above the power of 3 because 3 measures physical beings. What complete and utter balls! Carol with an E _King. Tweet her, kids. You never know. People power might get her on the show. How cool would that be? How cool would that be? At Carol with an E _King. Ask her to come on the show. Thank you very much. Right, let's go to Cheeky Gary. Hello, Cheeky Gary.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Cheeky Gary. Have you been very cheeky recently?
I haven't done a Mooney tonight.
when did you last do a Mooney?
What I found very interesting, you was talking about Liza Minnelli.
That's Liza with a Z.
I knew her godmother, Kate Fox.
Oh, because you used to know a lot of celebrities, didn't you?
Seriously, I did, yeah.
Okay, so you knew Liza Minnelli's godmother.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet Liza?
No.
That's a shame. That would have been a story.
But I love Cabaret with Michael York. And
Good
Liza
film.
And Joel Grey.
And Liza Minnelli, let's be honest, what a woman. Wow, what a woman.
What a voice.
With stockings and bowler hats. It works for me every single time.
I don't know who was sexier, her or Barbara Streisand.
I would say that...
Walking barefoot in the park. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Mind you don't tread on the dog poo.
Huh?
Yeah. I would say Liza in Cabaret was probably the second. And in Arthur as well. Man, she was a babe.
Arthur was a brilliant film. And I thought Dudley Moore was brilliant.
Dudley Moore.
John Gielgud.
Well, John Gielgud, I believe, may have won an Oscar. I'm not totally sure about that.
He was good.
He was good. Some films are good, aren't they, Cheeky Gary?
My favourite film, Ian, don't you? You know I'm
Five
a
Easy
Linda
Pieces.
Blair fan.
Oh, The Exorcist 2.
And I also love Lenny Kravitz.
Imagine if Lenny Kravitz and Linda Blair got together and made a movie and an album together. Wouldn't that be bloody awesome?
I think it'd be demonic.
Oh, Cheeky Gary, you are so cheeky!
But no, seriously.
But seriously, folks. Yeah, but seriously.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
It's like I do like a good film.
I don't like bad films. I don't know why.
My favourite film is Ryan's Daughter.
My favourite daughter is Ryan's Daughter.
Oh, is it?
I've never seen the film Ryan's Daughter.
So's mine.
Ooh. Ever made love to a girl called Ryan's Daughter?
No, I don't think her father would have liked it.
No. Who's her dad?
Ryan O'Ryan.
Oh, Ryan O'Ryan. Yep. It's one of those questions, isn't it? It's one of those questions. What's the name of Ryan's daughter's father? Well, I'll tell you that. It's
Robert Mitchum.
Robert Mitchum. He was good. What's that film Robert Mitchum's in, where it's in black and white? Night of the Strangler? Have you seen that? Where there's a scene
with the Boston Strangler.
I have Night of the Strangler is a film with Mickey Dolenz.
I saw the band The Stranglers.
No, Night of the Hunter. That's it, Night of the Hunter. There's a good... If you want a scary, old-fashioned black and white film with Robert Mitchum in, which is a very specific genre, I'll grant you, but Night of the Hunter. I went and saw that at the pictures one Sunday afternoon. Fantastic film.
Well, two films that really frightened me.
Oh, blimey! Yes?
Two films that really frightened me. One was Magic, about the ventriloquist.
Yes, Anthony Hopkins. I remember seeing that as a boy and thinking...
That really frightened me. And the other one was Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Can you make love to ventriloquist dummies?
Well, you'd have to be kinky if you did.
I think we're all a little bit kinky, aren't we, Gary?
Mr. Parlochin.
Mr. who?
Mr. Parlochin.
That was the name of his dummy, wasn't it?
No. There was no one called Charles.
That was Ray Allen and Lord Charles.
And a monocle.
There's a very funny clip, right, of Ray Allen and Lord Charles, right, and Lord Charles was the ventriloquist dummy, but Lord Charles is doing a ventriloquist act with his own dummy, right, and the dummy, someone will post this on the Facebook page, the dummy looks exactly like me.
Does it? I don't know what you look like.
Well, go and look on YouTube.
You look like Orville.
No. Go on YouTube and look for Ray Allen, Lord Charles, right, and find the clip where Lord Charles is doing a ventriloquist act. I look like that dummy. So much so that when my 3-year-old niece saw it and her mum went, "Who's that?" She went, "Oh, it's Uncle Ian."
Did you get any royalties for it?
Absolutely bugger all. Although, I'll tell you something, Cheeky Gary. You know those programmes like TV's Naughtiest Blunders, where they show clips of shows going wrong?
Yeah.
Occasionally, they'll show a clip of a TV show I did many years ago called Rise, where I made a rude joke about masturbation at 7:30 in the morning. It wasn't a blunder, it was deliberate, because I knew we were being axed, so I did it anyway.
Yeah.
Every time they show that clip, I get 250 quid.
Yeah, but do you know they called you?
They've shown
that?
it twice.
Do you know they called you after you did that?
No, go on, what?
A wanker.
Thanks very much, Cheeky Gary.
Absolute Radio.
You're listening to Absolute Radio.
I dumped that, but if you want to hear what he said, get the podcast.
The Tesco Tech Support Team. Friendly, impartial...
It's supposed to be a bullying special this evening. We're not really touching it. Maybe in this hour we will a bit. And if you don't, I'll give you a good kick up your backside. Joking! It was a joke. It was a joke, for God's sakes. I've been bullied on Twitter. I've decided I'm not going to let these people get away with it. I'm 38 years old, for God's sakes. So I've challenged the person to call in this evening. And what a surprise they haven't. He's not called in. Maybe he's busy cleaning. I don't know. I mean, that's what he does for a living. I don't want to give away too much, but I know exactly who it is. I know who it is. And he's not calling in, and it's a shame. Because I want to hear one of his voices. Ah, well. If you've been bullied, 0330 123 1215. I want to get the best revenge on bullies. And listen, I hold my hands up. When I was at school, I was a little sod, and I bullied people. This is girl Bernadette, and I did terrible things to her, and I genuinely, when I remember what I did, I am racked by guilt. It doesn't constantly get me, but, I made her life pretty miserable, and a couple of other people. And it was to cover my own insecurities, completely. And, I feel terrible. But what's the best way to get revenge on bullies? 0330 123 1215. And also, we want to find out the worst places you've lived in. Eloise, what's so bad about the place you're living in now? Because the beating in the flat above you seems to have stopped, so that's got to be a bonus, hasn't it?
Yeah, the beating
Unless
and
the person is dead.
Loud, eternal music seems to have stopped.
The band, not
good.
the concept of time, yes.
Which they played really loud. But now, when I get home at night, I can hear scratching from all the mice that are obviously in the walls around me.
Genuinely shivered then. That's
and it's
horrible.
just like, it's like this.
Oh, I forgot to bring in my... I'll bring in that mouse plug thing I've got.
Don't worry, we've got them. They don't work because our mice are like beast mice.
You've got beast mice, have you?
Blatantly got incontinence because they're pooing everywhere.
Incontinent beast mice. Wow, that's bad. That's bad.
Also, oven doesn't work. We've only just managed to get the windows sorted so that they open. Yeah. We've got our locks finally, so that our door locks.
This is a bonus.
Oven doesn't work, did I say that?
Yeah.
We've just got the shower working.
Yeah.
What else is
Maybe
going
there's
on?
something in what Moira Flynn was saying about some houses and some places being lucky and some being unlucky. Maybe that's maybe you've got an unlucky flat. My house at the moment, I think, is very lucky because everything seems to be going fine with it. Maybe your flat is unlucky.
I think it's me because my last flat was very unlucky. Probably more so than this one.
Maybe you've had a gypsy curse. Probably can't say that anymore.
Well, no, because...
Or a jinx.
You know the heather...
Yeah.
That they give you. You're supposed to... You're either supposed to buy that...
Yes.
Or you're supposed to just ignore them. So the wives' tale says.
Yes, this is the ladies that kind of offer you free heather, and then when you don't give the money, they put a curse on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've always bought them.
Oh, God.
Or only if I've accidentally looked at them, because you're not meant to do that.
Right.
And then other times I've ignored them.
Okay.
So I think I've escaped the curse.
Okay, well, you've escaped the gypsy curse.
Yeah.
But there are many, many other curses. Many other curses. The curse of Tutankhamun, for example.
I think that my ex-housemate has got a voodoo doll against me.
Yeah. Well, those boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still not paid one of the bills. Yep. You never guess the amount of the bill.
Go on.
£4.27.
Oy.
Yep. Pathetic.
Well, maybe Maybe we should do a voodoo. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. I know you're not allowed to hypnotise people on the radio. It's against the law.
I've been hypnotised on the radio before. How is that really against the law?
Did they actually do the hypnosis on the radio? Or was that done separately? Yeah, you can do that. You can have hypnotised people on the radio. You're not allowed to do it on the radio in case someone goes into a trance whilst they're driving a truck and drives into a school playground. So I don't know if you're allowed to do voodoo on the radio. I tell you what, we'll have a look. I'll have a look at the facts tomorrow about the law. Ofcom, although Ofcom's busy with the news of the world. If we did a little bit of voodoo and it broke the rules, do you think they'd be that bothered now? They're busy with blooming Rupert Murdoch, aren't they?
Might be a bit of light relief for them.
Exactly. Well, maybe that works with the voodoo doll. Well, maybe we'll do some voodoo tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow's a voodoo special, I've just decided. I don't know how it'll manifest itself, but voodoo special.
What ingredients do I need to get to make a voodoo doll?
You need the pubic hair of the person you're going to do voodoo on.
It's not going to happen.
Or just the hair, doesn't need to be pubic.
It's not going to happen either. I've moved out.
OK, well, let's try and do some voodoo on me.
OK.
We'll make a voodoo doll of me, and because I'm going to get a haircut on Wednesday, so we can cut a bit of my hair.
I can just pull a bit out.
No, well, no. You can pull some of my pubic hair out.
No.
Really?
No. I was
going
to say you could, but even then, no.
OK, you don't want any of my pubic hair? Not even as a gift?
No. It made me feel physically sick, that does.
As a bonus?
Right, this is a bit rank.
Yeah.
But I think I was sick in my sleep.
It's more than a bit rank.
That's why I think this place, I am unlucky, and it's all to do with this place.
So you sicked up in your mouth and then swallowed it again?
Yeah, because there was no sick around.
If only Jimi Hendrix had been that lucky.
Yeah.
I'm going to play a record now. Iain Lee, Absolute Radio. Tick your online radar diaries now. Bullying, crap houses, and things to the power of 4, I think. I don't quite remember how we got onto that. It's been an odd show. If you've missed any of the show, can I just say the last 3 weeks have been awesome. Partly due to me, partly due to Eloise, and partly due to you. No, it's not actually. It's mainly down to me. But if you've missed any of them, I thoroughly recommend you go and download the podcasts. You can either get them by going to iTunes and typing in Iain Lee, IAIN. LEE, and you'll find the full show of this with all the music and the ads cut out. The Best Bits podcast, The Best of Barry, Shepherd's Pie. You'll also find Ian and Watco's Important Target, which is a podcast that my friend Ian Watkins and I do. Follow him on Twitter if you want, @Watco. We do a little podcast and it's good fun. You can also get this show's podcast by going to the Absolute Radio website, www.absoluteradio.co.uk/Iain Lee. I think that's right. Dan is fishing in Essex. Hello, Dan.
Yeah, all right, mate.
Sorry to keep you waiting, fella. What can I do for you?
No problem. First of all, I want to kind of touch on the whole quadrupled thing.
Yeah.
Back to the power of 4. Yeah, it's actually not got a name, but I guess that makes it open to interpretation. So
right.
I'm going to give it to you to name it.
Oh. Well, I want to call it cubed.
Cubed?
Yeah, I know.
Cubed is to the power of 3, though.
Yeah, well...
That's already taken.
Yeah, I know, but cubes have got 4 sides, and they've not got 3 sides. That should be...
They've got 6 sides.
Now you're blowing my mind. OK, let's call it to the power of Lee.
Yeah, we'll call it to the power of Lee.
There we go.
Yeah.
What's the idiot phoning in saying you can't have anything above the power of 3? What a load of nonsense
that's a load of rubbish.
Utter balls. You reading any good books at the moment, Dan?
No, I'm not a book reader.
You're not, the fact that you call people who read books bookers would indicate that you're not. Indeed.
Yeah, no, I'm not a booker. No,
you're not a booker.
I'm a fisher.
You're fishing now, are you?
Yeah, I'm out fishing at the moment, doing a bit of night fishing.
You've been on the phone for an hour, man. You're going to have no battery left.
Oh, that's all right. I've got a laptop with me. I do high-tech fishing.
A laptop fishing?
Aye.
Well, surely the whole point of going night fishing is to get away from everything. You have a little stove, a tin of beans, and a wind-up light.
Oh, yeah, I've got all 3 of those on a laptop.
And you take a tranny with you?
Oh, yeah, of course.
If you can
That's my girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. Good lad. Well done. And you've got your lap. Okay. Well, but have you got a power source?
No. It's just running on the battery.
Okay,
it's just literally to charge my phone.
Okay. Well, that's going to give you a whole 20 minutes worth. Why are laptop batteries just incredibly awful?
Oh, I've got a £1,000 MacBook, so.
Dad's showing off. He's got £1,000 neck. Listen to you. How long does that last you for then?
About 8 hours.
What, switched on?
Aye.
Okay, if you're watching a DVD, how long will it last?
Oh, maybe about 4.
There we go, you see that.
Yeah, doing word processing and web coding and stuff. It's quite low.
Web coding, well. Have you caught anything?
Oh, yeah, I've had a £15 carp. It's not bad.
And do you chuck them back?
Oh, yeah. Not when eating a carp, they're disgusting.
Are they? I don't know. I've got no idea. I've been fishing since I was 12. I hated it.
In a lot Middle Europe, they eat carp. I'm not sure why.
Oh, they eat any old crap over there, don't they? They eat pig's testicles, probably. Anyway, Dan, what can I do for you? Sorry.
Yeah, no, well, I was going to ring up about the bullying thing. I was going to say back when I was in school.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 19 now, so
Good lad,
it wasn't
well
that long ago. But yeah, when I was in school, there was this guy called, I don't know, should I say his name or not?
Just give us his first name.
Almir.
Okay, Almir, yeah.
Which is a bad start to begin with, to be honest. Yeah. And, well, to be honest, we was always in the changing rooms, for PE and whatnot. This sounds a bit of homoerotic story, admittedly, but... yeah, well, he had massive nipples. Hey! Whoa! There we go. Yep. Yeah, he was massive. He was quite chubby as well. I mean, we used to, take our belts off and whip him.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm not really sure why I do it.
I was more a fan of the wet towel whipping than the...
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was impressive.
That can make a good crack if you could...
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Or sometimes... Did anyone have your... How old are you, Dan?
I'm 19.
You're not 19.
I am.
Shut up. A 19-year-old going night fishing?
Aye.
You're not 19.
I am, indeed.
What year were you born?
1991.
You're 19 and you're going night fishing?
Aye.
Jesus. Well, back in my day, I'm 38, and it would not be unusual for someone, quite often me, to take in to school, and I remember this because it gets mentioned in the Simon Day book, so someone to take in some nunchuckers or some ninja throwing stars into school.
Right,
that's what the 80s were like. You'd take in copies of Razzle that you'd nicked off your dad, and nunchuckers and ninja throwing stars. You get whacked in the balls by one of them, oi, you feel it.
Oh, yeah, you're going to know this, yeah.
You are going to know it, yeah. Anyway, so there's Almir, yeah, on his big nipples.
Yeah. Yeah, he has big nipples, and he was picked on quite a lot. I probably made his life a living hell, if I'm honest.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't know, I just felt an uncontrollable urge to do it.
Dan, would you like to take this opportunity to apologise to Almir?
Oh, yeah, I guess, why not? I'm sorry, Almir.
There we go.
I doubt he's listening. He's probably in Bosnia by now, but...
Well, there you go. You never know. Dan, listen, thank you very much for that. 0330 123 1215 is the telephone number. Ray, Flossie, Jerry be with you after this.
Absolute Radio.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm slowly watching my number of Twitter followers just drop off. There goes another one. Well, have I done something? Apart from a poor show? What have we done? Floss will be with you in a second. Let's go to Jerry first. Hello, Jerry.
They're a fickle bunch, those Twitter people are.
The what, sorry?
Fickle bunch.
They are a fickle bunch, and they can fickle off, as far as I'm concerned.
Tommy Boyd, how's he doing?
Not very well. Not very well.
Memory one. Good morning, Britain.
Yeah. That was many, many years ago, Jerry, many years ago. He's made a very powerful enemy. I've always wanted to say that. He's made a very powerful enemy.
Can you remember Mike Dickin when they took him outside for a fight?
I don't remember that, no. I suspect that was in the day when Tommy was imaginative, and it's probably one of his stunts that he's so famous for doing.
Probably in the bed sit now.
Yep, there we go.
I used to live in Fagin's Lair.
Fagin's Lair?
Yeah.
What's that?
Rented a room.
You used to live in Fagin's Lair?
Yeah.
And how did that go? Was it? I'm taking by its name. It was not a particularly nice place.
Police called around every 2 minutes. You just get raided.
Wow, the excitement of living somewhere like that, Jerry.
Yeah.
At least Eloise hasn't got that. So I don't know what she's moaning about.
Yeah,
oh, hang on a minute.
I do have to walk past drug dealers and prostitutes just to get to my front door.
You can get some blow and some crack on the way. And I mean crack in the lady sense of the word.
When the other day, so I come home at like 1:30 in the morning and I said hello to one of them because it's only
the
polite.
prozzies.
You got to walk past them.
Got to walk past the prozzies.
And then they're going, hello, hello to me, like taking the mick.
What?
I know.
You're not the one selling your body to feed your drug habit.
I know. I didn't like it.
No, you should have gone, hello, I'm not going to have sex tonight. I've not had sex for a few years, so up yours. And actually, saying that probably wouldn't have helped at all, would it? But just think they get more sex in one night than both of us have had in our lifetime put together.
Probably. Not the ones round our way. They've got no teeth.
All the better to... I just mimed that. I'm really sorry. Jerry, anything else?
The news of the world.
Yeah?
Thought everybody was supposed to be annoyed with it. They just had the best sales figures ever.
Yeah, well, everyone who bought it on Sunday is an idiot. And if you bought the news of the world, I don't want you listening to my show anymore, OK?
They're going on eBay for 40 quid.
No, they're not going on eBay for 40 quid, Jerry, for God's sakes. I'm not that stupid. Hey, it's Flossie!
Hi!
Flossie, you went to Cheer Up Sunday on Sunday.
Yeah, I did. It's brilliant.
I was so close to coming. So close. Oh, that's... I very nearly came.
I really wish you had. I remember one time you said you went to a gig in Cambridge, and I kind of wandered round hoping I'd bump into you that day.
Oh, you weirdo.
I know, I'm sorry.
That is weird. I did very nearly, but I was so tired. I couldn't have driven up there, so I bought a new little Marantz. I got a little, it's a digital recorder, and I had it all set up, and I put the batteries in, and I tested it and set it all up, and I was like, oh, I'm going to use this today, and then I didn't. So that's okay. Was it fun?
It was. I was sad I could only be there for an hour, but I was so glad when I turned up and there were other people there and stuff. I was like, yay,
but they were his friends who were there.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit cheat sheets.
Yeah, but he didn't know they were coming, and also the point was to make friends, and I made new friends.
Oh, that's good. So you
met me.
You're studying in Cambridge, are you?
I just graduated a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, so are you moving out of Cambridge?
Yeah, so I'm leaving. But
yes.
which I thought this week, because I was like, oh no, that means that, obviously I'm leaving and you won't know anyone. But I'm going to go for lunch with him and some of my friends that are staying.
Oh,
and
wicked.
Know them, and then and it'll be fine.
And was he all right, or was he a pervert?
No, he was fine. He was really nice.
Good lad. He seemed like a nice fella, and I'm glad that you went along, because I thought it was an excellent idea of his and a very brave thing to do.
Yeah, and it's really good because I've been listening to you for ages and I've always been too scared to call in. But Jonathan texted me just before and was like, "You have to call, go on." So then I finally.
I'm a nice person. I always get this whenever I meet people. Sometimes people email me saying, "Oh, I love your show. I'm too scared to call in." I've got a friend Gemma, who runs a Nambuka, a club in Holloway Road. "Oh, Ian, I love your show. I'm too scared to call in." But I'm nice. If you're an idiot, then I'll tell you you're an idiot. But if you're not an idiot and you're nice, like you, Flossie. Then I'll be nice back.
I know, but I never think I have anything interesting to say. And also,
Come on,
then by now, all the stuff about bullying and stuff, I don't have any of that.
It doesn't matter.
So...
Listen, you know how random the show is, but you've heard Andre call in. Although we've not heard Andre call in for ages, but people call in that have nothing to say. Eloise, Andre's not called us for a while,
I'm
has he?
worried about him. I might call him just to see if he's okay.
Andre, if you're listening. Because normally he starts phoning like half an hour before the show starts.
I haven't heard from him in about 3 weeks. I hope he's not dead.
It's possible.
It happens.
It does happen, as we know, and then sometimes we are very lucky in as much as that sometimes we'll get an email from a family member if someone passes over, which is sad, but it's nice.
It is
that
nice.
We were an important part that they felt important part of their lives that someone felt they should let us know.
Yeah,
it is nice. It's very sad. It's always there was one a few months ago, and we were both like gulp. But it was nice to know, and there was a kind of finality. Oh, hang on, this might be Andre calling in now. Line 2, is that Andre?
Hiya.
Oh, it's Rob Burnett. Sorry, Flossie, it's only Rob Burnett. Yes, Rob, what do you want?
Two things. I've come up with a feature.
Oh yeah.
How about it's listener bingo style housey?
Listener bingo style housey. It sounds good so far, Rob.
So basically, I'll say, is there anyone from Oxford listening?
Yeah.
And then if it's someone from Oxford, they ring in and go, I'm from Oxford, is there anyone from Edinburgh?
All right. And then what happens?
No?
Then what happens?
And then we keep going.
What for?
Just for fun. And you can see
for fun.
How far across the world you go.
I would call it. Well, yeah, we have done that. I would call it more of a relay race than a housey style bingo.
So you say no?
I'm saying no for now, but if we get a really quiet night where I can't think of anything, then we might consider doing it.
Right. Could I do something else?
Oh, yeah, go on. Yeah, definitely.
Well, it basically is, I'm going to Edinburgh this year, and I thought I'd give you a preview of what I'm going to be doing at Edinburgh this year.
Oh, yeah, you're doing a show?
Well, it's kind of... Well, I'm going to be doing Edinburgh this year. I've just been going up to ladies and she goes, how much for the night? What about if you bring your friend? I'm not paying that. What can I get for 50 quid? Don't run away. I can catch you. You're all the same. Don't sound the alarm. I never touched her, officer. She was like that. They're all evil. I was only asking for directions. Hello?
So, Flossie.
Yes.
As you've proven, I can be quite nice to people.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely.
I wanted to tell you one thing that I thought you might think was cool.
Yeah, go on.
When my dad was 19, he was hitchhiking in America, and he had a really big British flag. And so someone stopped and said, "Oh, I'll give you a lift." And it was Davy Jones from the Monkees.
Whoa! Hang on. And your dad made a documentary about it?
Yeah.
I heard that on Radio 4!
Yeah. And
that was
like,
awesome, and he went back to him.
Stuff.
He went back to him, and Davy Jones was bonkers and showed him like his monkey museum.
Yeah.
He went and stayed with Davy Jones for a few nights.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So I've always wanted to ring in and tell you because I was like, oh, he'd love that.
Yeah, of course I love it. I made a point of listening to your dad's show on Radio 4 when he did did a thing about it. Is your dad anybody? Is he someone?
He's
like a reporter or something.
He's a radio presenter on Radio 4, but I wasn't ringing to say that. I was just ringing to say the story of that was quite
Get
cool.
your dad to phone up, man. I want to hear the story about it. I want to hear it from the monkey's mouth about staying with Davy Jones.
I'll have to do that another day because he's in London, but yeah, that was pretty cool. I thought it was a good
It was so cool. Oh, well, say hello to your dad. Tell him I thoroughly enjoyed his show. And I thought,
so glad.
No, genuinely thought it was brilliant. And I thought it was a fascinating kind of little weird side story. And it was just, him going back to the house as well and meeting... Because Davy Jones is bonkers. I've interviewed him and I've seen him being interviewed. And there's something about him, I can't quite work it out, but there's something about him a little bit weird and a little bit bitter. And it's sort of... Your dad handled it wonderfully, but it kind of came out in... Oh, tell him it was a fantastic show, Flossie. You've made my day.
Oh, I'm so pleased. Well, you've made mine. It's been wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Flossie.
Thank you. Bye.
Ta-ta, there we go, you see? That's all it takes sometimes. Her dad's show was awesome. It was like a half-hour documentary about meeting... He went and stayed with Davy Jones just because he was carrying a British flag in America. You wouldn't get any of this lot doing that, would you?
In the long, hidden part.
He's singing like a girl, this fella. Martin Collins! That was anticlimactic. Martin Collins! From Feltham! Hello! Oh, OK, well, he's not there. If he wants to join in, he can. Martin! Ray!
Good evening.
Good evening, Ray Murray.
I'm here.
Ray, whoa, Martin, where have you been for the last 35 seconds?
Sorry, my delay, I my iPhone on mute.
Well, you're an idiot. I'm going to have to go to Ray Murray now, Martin Collins, and maybe come back to you afterwards.
Mr. Lee, I'm not an idiot, but I can still tell you a few things.
Oh, well, Martin Collins, Ray Murray's going to go first, and then you're after Ray Murray now, OK?
That's absolutely awesome. Oh, sorry, should I say absolute?
Oh, clever, because that's what the radio station's called at the moment.
Yeah, well played by me.
Yeah. Ray Murray.
Good evening.
Good evening, Ray Murray.
About the Cheer Up Sunday, myself and Hannah very nearly made it to that. Unfortunately, A&E got in the way.
Who are A&E? Oh, you mean the accident and indeed the emergency?
That's right, sadly. Which was quite a surreal experience in itself because the doctor and the nurse treating Hannah, well, the nurse, she sounded like Eloise, and the doctor sounded like Dougie Anderson.
Oh, there we go. This is some weird... Are you sure that you weren't both taking a lot of drugs at the time?
No, certainly not.
Because I know that Eloise has had a nursing licence revoked for various inappropriate behaviours.
Really?
Dougie Anderson still practices as a doctor, though, so that's good news for everybody concerned.
Oh, so maybe it was him.
Maybe it was him.
No, she was quite taken by him. She found it quite enjoyable.
What? Had she injured her vagina?
No, he was squeezing custard out from her armpits.
Wow.
Think about that for a while.
I'd have stuck with the vagina. I like A&E. There's nothing quite like sitting in a room with sick people for 6 hours. Martin, yes, Martin Collins.
I don't believe I heard that quite right. Did he just say he's squeezing custard out from his armpit?
Out from her armpit.
Fair enough. Carry on.
Well, so you didn't make it, and in many ways, Ray, that's probably a blessing for the young lad who was organising the event.
Possibly.
Possibly indeed. Possibly indeed.
But still would have been nice to have turned up.
Yeah, but you didn't.
Maybe not.
There we go. Martin Collins?
Yes, my friend.
I'll speak to you after this.
Absolute Radio.
You're listening to Absolute Radio.
At your home, office, even when you're away on holiday, Autoglass will repair your chip windscreen at the best place for you so you can get on with your day. Call us 24/7. And as most insurers recommend us, there's no need to call them first.
Call Autoglass directly on 0800 234 234 or visit autoglass.co.uk.
Autoglass repair, Autoglass replace.
Now that was interesting. Here's my section. Text to Absolute Radio will cost you 50p, plus your standard network rate. Now, listen to another message.
No, I just mentioned it a lot online. Martin Collins!
Hello, Mr. Lee.
Hello,
How are
Mr.
you?
Collins.
No, I shouldn't say that, although it's polite to say that.
No, it's not polite. It's vacuous.
You say that, but I'm not going to argue with you because obviously you're the king of arguing. I was just brought up a way where you just say polite.
Well, you say vacuous, idiotic things that are meaningless. Well, listen. I don't have time in my life for those kind of things.
Mr. Lee,
Mr. Collins,
you're an absolute brilliant DJ.
Correct.
You know,
well, actually, I'm a presenter, but go on.
I've written a list of the things that you do brilliantly, and I sound like
a drunk.
No, how dare you?
Have you been drinking this evening, Mr. Collins?
Yes, I have been drinking. Of course, I've been drinking.
It's a Monday night. Who wouldn't have a drink on a Monday night?
No. Don't take me wrong.
Eloise, I think we found the new Andre.
Good. Well played. First of all, I've got 4 points that I'd like to bring to
the table.
Your attention.
The point table.
First of all is point 1.
Point number 1. Numero uno. Here we go, sir.
Point number 1.
Yes.
Driving age. Last week pulled up in the podcast that I listened to.
Yes.
It shouldn't be every 3 years. It should be 5 years. Driving age because the old people, without being I don't know the word.
Respectful. Disrespectful, yes.
Thank you very much.
How could you not know the word disrespectful when you started off the diss?
How dare you? I'm on a course, right? I'm not on my usual forum. I'm sitting here. I can't even speak my words. Anyway.
How much have you had to drink? Have you been combining it with prescribed medication?
I work on the railway. I cannot do that. Right. So driving age.
I could not. I work on the railway. I could not do that.
Yeah, I can't. You know, it's things we have to do. Anyway, driving age.
Things we have
5
to do.
years. 5 years.
You can't drive at 5 years old, you idiot.
No.
You won't be able to see over the steering
years,
wheel.
Everyone should take their test. From the age of 21 to the age of 50, they should take their test. Right, for every 5 years, because when they get to the age of 50, it's going to go downhill. Right. Which is what you said last week on your podcast.
You've said what I've said, pretty much, but just worse.
I said what you said. I can't do that as fast as you can. But anyway, right, 2.
What? Seriously, what are you on?
I'm on a seat.
Good lad. There we go. Well done. Oh, you could have said on the radio, but you went for on a seat. Okay.
So I've got a baby. Right?
Oh, jeez.
And I've been listening to your podcast for a long time now, and your baby's about, I'd say, 3 months older than my baby.
Well, how old is your baby?
14 to 15 months.
Yep.
I'd like to say exact.
My baby is 3 months. My baby will be 18 months on Wednesday. I'm getting a haircut to celebrate.
Oh, you're having a haircut already?
On my head, yeah.
Oh, I was going to say...
He's had loads of haircuts, the boy.
Is he?
He's got thick head of hair, yeah.
See, my missus said to me that I shouldn't give my baby a haircut. Well, no, I shouldn't, because, obviously...
You don't take a bar. You're not going to take a baby to a barber's. Of course, you give it the haircut yourself.
No. I'm talking about me giving the baby a haircut.
Yeah, I've given the baby a haircut. Of course, you do.
Because I said that you shouldn't give the baby a haircut because it's bad luck. Because
It's bad luck to give a baby a haircut. Well, completely utter nonsense.
It depends what age they are, doesn't it?
What age is it good luck to give a baby a haircut?
Technically, I don't know because this is my own wife's.
It's literally a wives' tale coming out your wife's backside. It's not unlucky to give a baby a haircut.
Also, right, I'm going to move away from you talking about my wife, and I'm going to turn around and say to you, also, the people that listen to your topics, that don't listen very carefully...
Yes,
right,
Mr.
like
Collins.
the woman last week who was staying at Canberra Sands, of all places, please. And
thank you.
She was basically living there, well, not living there, and she was staying there for a couple of weeks. She had a bad throat and bad ears, obviously, and she did listen to the things. People should listen to your show.
Yes, they should do.
I turned round about 2 years ago, and I used to listen to, I don't want to say his name, but the person who used to do that Drunk versus Stone thing.
You can say Jeff's name.
Yeah, well, no, I can't mention his name because I don't remember it.
Well, it's Jeff.
Well, I still remember Ian Lee and Eloise.
Yeah.
I don't remember Jeff.
Well,
I
you
still
do
remember
because
their name.
you're talking about him.
Right, literally, you've confused me right now because I've had a few drinks. But I'm not going to complain of that. The thing is, I remember your show better than I remember their show.
But
and I think your show's better.
Well, you're
Move on
right,
from
but
that.
his show's good. He's got a good show. He's got a good show.
I'm pretty sure he has.
Okay.
And don't get me started on Pradeep, Ian, because I have my good hearing.
Pardon?
And I know what you do.
What do I do?
You take that I don't know what it is, a fader or an extension button, and then you at the end go.
That's what I do. When I do a Pradeep, I hit the extension button that all radio studios
I don't know
have.
what it's called because I'm not technically minded in the radio.
I can assure you, Mr. Collins, when I do a Pradeep, there is no technical buggery going on.
Collins.
Yeah, there is.
Ian Lee, just call me Mr. Collins.
Yeah, there is no technical trickery. I've done it on the live
Don't lie
stage.
to me, Mr. Lee. Don't lie to me because I can hear it. You extend your
Yeah, by doing excellent breathing techniques.
Go, beep, like that, and you go deep. So don't lie to me about it.
I don't even know how he does it.
There is a technique that is nothing to do with There is no electronic trickery. Eloise has watched me do it. I've done it live on stage.
Crack on, son. Don't worry.
Okay, Mr. Collins.
Do that. You do that. 4, bullying. This is my next point. 4, bullying. Well, I don't believe in bullying.
No,
I think it's the worst thing in the world.
Well, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not great.
Well, technically, okay, fair enough. It isn't the worst thing in the world, but I exaggerate the point. It is a bad thing. Bullying affects so many people in the world. I was bullied for a while.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Oh, it's been pedantic. Do you know? I listened to this back in a couple of days, and I'll be like, oh yeah.
I wish I'd been sober.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
I wish I would have been. I'm not.
No. Do you want to say hello to your sober self in a couple of days' time? Now.
Who's he?
Thanks very much for calling. That was fun, wasn't it? Thank you, Mr. Collins. Chunk will be with you after the Killers. I've just met Chris Martin, who's coming on after me. He's a nice lad, isn't he?
Yeah, lovely.
He's got the voice of a man in his 40s.
Definitely. You wouldn't have been able to age him.
The face of a 19-year-old, fresh from college. Makes me want to puke, Jesus. He's on from 1 o'clock, and listen, I'll be honest, normally, hey, you got to listen, because this guy's great. I've never heard him, but he seems like No, I'm being honest, I can't do that. You got to listen, this guy's great. I've never heard him before. He seems like a nice person. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
That will be enough for me to listen on the way home, at the very least. Chris Martin will be on at 1 o'clock. And he seems like a nice person.
The end.
At the end, Some people don't even seem like nice people, so he's winning there. He's on at 1 o'clock.
Who else have you met that doesn't seem like nice people from here?
No, who have I met that doesn't seem like nice people? Or who have I met that is a nice person?
That isn't. That you've had to come on after and you've had to pretend.
Oh, not that I've come on after.
No, before, I mean.
Well, Mark Crosley, of course. But
What about Polly?
Oh, God.
Awful.
Well, she's the fob thief. I broke the chain of my fob. I broke the lanyard.
Oh, I can get you a new one.
Can you?
Yeah, not tonight.
Sweet. Chunk!
You just did a wink.
Yeah.
Hello, mate.
Hello, Chunk.
You all right, mate?
I feel uncomfortable calling you Chunk.
It's no worries, mate. I used to be fat.
Oh, in that case, I don't feel so uncomfortable. Are you slim now?
I lost a couple of stone.
Well done.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, it took a while.
I saw a friend of mine the other day that I'd not seen for a long time, right? He used to be a fat fella. And he's lost a lot of weight. And it took me 30 seconds to recognize. This guy was talking to me, I'm thinking, I know your voice. Oh, my God, I didn't recognise him. He'd lost so much weight. It was incredible. Incredible. And I wouldn't say necessarily he looked better for it. Sorry, Eloise, am I boring you?
No.
Good.
It's
Chunk!
just late.
It is late. I'm really feeling it tonight. I'm feeling it. I'm off to Milton Keynes tomorrow to go to the first ever radio station I ever worked at.
Oh.
Horizon. I'm meeting Trevor Marshall. I used to do breakfast show.
Don't forget to look out for Wolfie.
Oh, yeah. I will have a little look out for Wolfie.
At the stadium.
I'll drive past the stadium and see if he's round there. Yeah. Sorry, Chunk. We're having a chat and we're being very rude. We're ignoring you. What can I do for you, my love?
No worries, mate. I've just like to say I enjoy your show.
You're right to. It's bloody good.
It is good.
It is good. There's no point in beating around the bush. It is good.
Yeah, Eloise's laugh is infectious.
It is infectious. I've often said that it's not just her laugh.
Is that the right word? Is that have I mucked it up?
Chunk, it's not just her laugh that's infectious either. I tell you that. You've got to be careful. Steady. Come on.
Would you call yourself smart, Mr. Lee?
In thought or style?
Like the way you call your callers, like, when you turn around to them and say they're a little bit dumb because they don't recognise who's the last person who's calling.
Yeah.
Would you have in the past called them dumb?
Yes, correct. I'm very close to calling you that. Yes, sir.
Oh, well done.
Do I think I'm smart?
No, I'm just asking, who was the last person you called to? Who was on the phone to you?
Hang on a second. Eloise, who was the last person we called to?
Martin Collins.
Martin Collins?
Yeah, he was a bit of an idiot, wasn't he?
Bit of a what?
Idiot.
Yes, he was. Let's be honest, Chunk. Between you and me and Eloise, yes, he was a complete and utter tool.
Well played. Well played. I like you, Mr. Lee.
I like you, Chunk.
Oh, thank you very much, my old sausage. Yeah, Eloise likes a sausage. Oh, not like it in that way. Like she likes the word sausage. Because I changed it from being sausage to sausage.
I didn't even know what you were trying to say.
Are you on acid?
No, I'm just on the other phone.
Okay. Well, Chunk, it's been absolutely marvellous talking to you, and I do hope you call again.
Mr. Lee, just before you go, I'd like to say all those people that ridicule you and stuff like that, they're idiots. They don't understand what you're doing. No, exactly. And I think you do a really good job. Eloise is brilliant, and
let's not get carried away. Come on.
Also, Cube is like I said to Eloise earlier, is to the power of 3. It's because of length times width times depth.
And height.
You know what he was asking earlier on, to the power of 2, which is cubed, and to the power of 3, which is bollocks. I fucked it up. That's going to.
I dumped that. If you get the podcast just for that last 2 minutes alone. That was brilliant. Eloise, thank you very much.
Bye.
Back tomorrow. Chris Martin is up next. Ta-ta.